Hello, my wonderful BIAFRAN brothers and sisters. There's a message before me here now, and I want to read it to my people. And I'm just reading it for the reading sake, but we all know the truth, and we all know what is right. But the reason why I need to read it is at least for some people to also understand that the struggle for the emancipation of the people of the Southeast, which is the Biafran people, the Igbo people, from the land of freedom, is not only called for the only Igbos. Westerners now have joined on the quest for this, and as a matter of fact, there's a letter being sent to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which is the president of the contraption called Nigeria, and that is the letter I want to read to you people. But the reason of bringing this news is to let you people know that the struggle for the Biafrans have gotten to the sky, and as such, there's no any power on this earth that is going to hinder it. Every news and crannies, as long as this word is concerned, is talking about Biafra. Every media houses is talking about Biafra, both internationally and locally. Forget about Nigeria. Nigeria is not a country. That one is a contraption. Because Nigeria is just a combination of Afghanistan, Somalia, USA, UK, France, Canada, and many more countries being joined together and form the unity. By force unity, this one no be under mutual understanding. This one is by force under gunpoint. But whichever way it is, we must surely get the freedom that we all deserve when the time is right. Soon, sir, not even far from here. An appeal to Tinubu on the Southeast agitation. This message came all the way from the United States of America, USA. And the writer is Elliot. The writer is Elliot Uko from USA. Let us go straight to the reason why we are here. Like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe. There's no time to tell time. I will not go ahead and be talking. So let us read in between the lines. Writers, individuals and some sections of the media have tried to paint the picture that the agitation in the Southeast is mischievous, insincere, and built on greed for power. Nothing could be farther from the truth, or farther from the truth, according to the English they use here. Commentators usually begin the story from the middle, thereby erasing the truth. The agitators are actually frustrated citizens who are scared of handing to their own children an unacceptable condition they found themselves in post-civil Nigeria war. They believe that since they were not responsible for the war, that they should not be eternally punished for a war that ended 53 years ago. They desire to be treated as equal citizens. Their region treated fairly as other regions. They desire through federalism, fair treatment to all, level playing field for all. That has not been the case of the contraption called Nigeria. Listen and listen good. This message is not from a Biafran, neither is it from a Nigerian, but from the Westerners. These are what they think concerning the agitation of the Biafrans. Their reaction and desire to succeed is anchored on their belief that they will never get justice. It all began 24 years ago as a little flicker of flame. It grew into a huge inferno because the root cause of their grievances have not been addressed: justice, fair play, and equality, or you can call it equity. The world has helplessly watched the agitation of the Southeast grow steadily from a storm in a teacup into a hurricane. How less than 100 random young men, Ralph Wazirike gathered and his Ajidedun Street, Agulejika, Lagos residents in September of 1999 grew into several hundreds, then thousands, and now several millions under the guise of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. How pundits and friends of every government, Obasanjo, Yaradua, Jonathan, and Buhari, have assured the agitation will be certainly crossed within weeks, or at most within a few months. how these advisors have managed to remain without blame, but rather smartly and successfully pass on the blame to their people or to other people, completely exonerating themselves, remain a great mystery. Regime after regime completely trusted these discreet advisors who presented themselves as experts on how to cripple, paralyze, and permanently silence the agitation. Meanwhile, the ranks, audacity, and tenacity of the agitators only doubled and quadrupled steadily, from disrupting census, headcount, to pull down the initial prison gates, to open a license office in Washington, D.C., and establishing a radio station in London. The agitators over the years grew and grew in size, number, and sophistication. Ew, I beg. I cannot come and bite my tongue. English is not my mother tongue. More people call it. When internal crisis amongst them led to the emergence of a new leadership and a new faction with a new name a decade later, the authorities resolutely refused to review the strategy of containment. As the new leader effectively used the airwaves to aggressively spread their gospel of secession, gathering which converse, discrediting the first and earlier leader, regional leaders, and federal authorities, continued with the same old format and strategy of calling the agitators miscreants, deviants, criminals, and fraudsters, while rolling out tanks and security to deal with the so-called troublemakers. My people, we are still moving forward. Meantime, the agitators grew exponentially into a formidable critical mass built on the solid ideology of hunger for fair treatment, justice, and equity. The elite of the region who choose to remain ambivalent, while the political class of the region preferred only to exploit them toward achieving certain political ends. When the new face of the agitation was arrested in a Lagos hotel 8 years ago and detained, all hell was let loose. Frightening huge and monstrous crowds of protesters flooded the streets of major cities and towns in the region, shocking everybody. Hundreds of thousands marched on the streets, waving separate flags. Not even Catalonia or Scottish referendum marches attracted such fighting crowds. That is the BIAFRANs. Everybody is in a really or a lie. Everybody distance themselves from the reality on ground. In whispers, they said the new president of the country would almost certainly mismanage the agitation. They believed he would allow his emotions to guide his actions and that his response would most definitely convolute. Rather than resolve the crisis, they definitely convoluted. Rather than resolve the crisis, they chose a sit-down the look attitude to avoid any kind of problem with the authorities. The same strategy of the containment applied over a decade earlier, 24 years ago at Aba, when Ralph Wazirike hoisted the Biafra flag at Aba, hoping on a bike, zooming off, remained the standard of containment. As Ralph zoomed off on the bike, 2 unlucky individuals were killed, several wounded. The scenario of bloodied streets, broken cars, damaged stores, whipping women, destroyed shops, missing shoes and clothes, strewn all over the roads, remained for 24 years ago. The regular telltale signs of confrontation between the agitators and the so-called authorities of the government. Military operational condemned Python Dance 1, 2, and 3, and other special operations remain the usual response since 1999. Yet, the motley crowd of artisans, petty traders, students, and even unemployed youths have gathered from Massaw in September 1999 have transmuted into a global movement of aggrieved folks scattered all over the world, breathing fear in their souls. They were able to paralyze the entire region, alter the people's lifestyle, and affect the region's economy. Still, nobody is interested in addressing the fears that drive the agitation. Fear powered by apprehension over the future, as they and their region have been mistreated since 1970. Fear that they don't have a future in the country their forebearers fought hard to achieve independence. Fear that the current subsisting unitary structure will never allow their region to ever develop. Fear that the absence of critical infrastructure such as railways, seaport, international airport with cargo wing, dry port, etc. are deliberately designated to impoverish and undevelop their region. Fear that the refusal to sincerely engage them to extract and hopefully address their grievances in 24 years may be a confirmation that there are no plans whatsoever to address their pain and frustration. Fear that their children will inherit same pitiful condition of second-class status if they don't do anything to positively improve their load. You get the point now? And that is the way it is. Anyone, my wonderful people, we have read and read and read and read. I think we have a very little reactions to this. I will just take the reactions, then we'll round up the broadcast. You get the point now, eh? So we'll just have to take 1, 2, or 3 reactions. This one is coming from Paul. As I said, when internal crisis among them led to the emergence of a new leadership and a new faction with a new name a decade later, the authorities resolutely refused to review the strategy of the containment. Revision of what have been said. And we have, as Victor said, Tinubu on Southeast agitation is this serious? Okay. Emeka Okpara said, very honest and sincere message. At Mouthpiece said, we have shown them that we mean business to exit Nigeria. They don't know what this crop of Biafrans led by His Excellency Mazi Simon Ekpa are fearless and unshakable in pursuit of Biafra freedom and liberation. There is no going back. Hashtag Biafra is dead. We have crossed the Rubicon. Now waiting our brother talk. This one, Biafra War Room said, Biafra is on the go, and no matter what anyone may do, Biafra must go. Now, so this our brother. TikTok is on. Anyone, my wonderful people, now hear me, I go take back breaky. And I will have my voice again when I come back. Please like, share, comment, and make sure you keep subscribing to this channel because more of these videos will come in your way. My name is Siriman Amandia Neze. I see reporting live from the platform of Okute Daily Talk. Kemesiano.